I have a special final 2 questions for you, sent in by a special entity, I guess you could say.
An entity?
Yeah.
Well, it's Halloween. Let's have it.
Yeah. He says, "Hello, Charles. It is I, Barnabas Coulombe, your ancient vampiric ancestor.
Ah, okay.
By a strange spell, I was brought back from the grave and now live amongst you moderns. Being lonely, I decided to seek out some of my own, but much to my horror, vampire kind, as I know it, is a thing of the past.
Ah.
Most of the vampires I met were just kids playing at being goth, whatever that means. Others didn't drink blood, only energy." What?
Hate it when that happens.
"And in popular entertainment, it's even worse. We are the sex addicts of the night, and our sexuality is portrayed as ambiguous, to say the least. Oh, and other times, we sparkle. Yes, you read that right. And in the Far East, we are shown to wear crosses and live in churches, of all places. Charles, my great-great-great half-nephew, thrice removed. What has happened to my people? Why this dramatic change in the perception of vampires and other creatures of horror?"
Well, firstly, Uncle Barnabas, it's good to hear from you again. Personal confession, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the first time my multiple great-uncle and I have seen each other. He'll remember, though I barely do, but back in '67, when I was a little boy, I was at our annual gathering at Bois de Coulombe, the palatial Coulombe estate over the St. Lawrence in Quebec. There was a knock on the door, a big family reunion, and in comes this gentleman who was the spitting image of a Barnabas Coulombe who supposedly about the time of the American Revolution had gone back to France. He looked exactly like him and announced that he was in fact Barnabas Coulombe and the direct descendant of said cousin. Well, I gotta tell you, he wasn't fooling anybody, especially not amongst Coulombes. Believe me, we know our creatures of the night. The kids all knew straight away. The adults pretended. But I haven't seen him since, for which I'm grateful. But the annoying thing was that ABC Television, one of our cousins by marriage, worked for them, stole the whole idea and turned it into, if you could believe this, a soap opera. Dark Shadows. Now you know where the inspiration came from. You see, there's absolutely no honor among thieves.
The parents all pretended they didn't want to insult the vampire? Be
Well, no, of course not. He was a relative. You know, with us, blood comes first.
Ooh.
In my family. At any rate, no, they didn't want to feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
So they all pretended oh yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I did notice I got a double dose of garlic in my soup that night, though. Anyway, well, to answer your question as to why the change, because society's grasp of evil has gone down the drain. I mean, let's take a step backwards. Originally, vampires, except of course for Barnabas, who is sui generis, being a Coulombe, anything we go into, we're different from all the rest. It's a family thing.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to be related to understand.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a cousin who was a firebug. He was afraid of fire.
Okay.
Have you any idea how difficult it was for him to be a pyromaniac? Closest he ever got was setting a campfire once.
Okay.
Anyway, so you're looking very confused.
I'm hanging in there.
All right, happy Halloween, by the way. As I was saying, see, if you can't play tricks outside, we'll play mind tricks. All right. No, the thing is that the vampire was seen, as I say, as a possessed corpse. Full stop. End of story. Bram Stoker, and this had begun before him, he was a friend of Mary Shelley and Lord Byron called Dr. Polidori, who wrote a short story called The Vampire, in which he introduced the idea of the grave nobleman, for pardon the expression, grave.
Of course.
But his Lord Ruthven was still pretty foul. Dracula, as Bram Stoker made him, was repelled by the crucifix, was repelled by the host. was evil, but there was still a certain broken nobility to him. And at the very end, when he gets staked, he's grateful to have been released. This is so that implies that his personality was what was there.
Yeah.
Well, as time has gone forward, as belief as Christianity has waned amongst those who generate popular culture, the vampire has gone from being evil and repelled by things that are good to being misunderstood, unloved, and definitely not chased away by things that are like crucifixes and so on. Which, it reflects really the decline in society as a whole. And the same with the sexualizing of the vampire myth. Everything has gotten sexualized.
Yeah.
Even the Boy Scouts. So, the vampire, I'm afraid, has shared the fate of everything else in this very sick and stupid culture. And what was the second question?
Why this dramatic change in perception of vampires and other creatures of horror?
Same. I mean, you can't understand evil unless you understand good. You're saying because evil is an absence of good.
Yeah.
So
we've lost that understanding.
Exactly. And so it's all different. They're all misunderstood, etc., etc. That's why we've had to read it in fairy tales. Probably the most obnoxious that I've come across, I'm sure there are others that are worse, of this rewriting of fairy tales was Walt Disney's Maleficent.
Oh, with Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very
I didn't
obnoxious. See it. Well, I did. I was on an airplane.
Was that a take on Sleeping Beauty?
Yes, it was. But poor dear evil fairy is misunderstood. She was done wrong by a man, of course. And in the end, it's not the prince's kiss, but only that of another woman that could rouse Sleeping Beauty.
There's way too many misunderstood villains in modern culture.
Yeah, they're evil. Got it? Evil. What they need is not understanding, but a stake through the heart, or a silver bullet. Yes, even you, Cousin Barnabas. Sorry. That is what they need. If there's any understanding or forgiveness for them, it's on the other side of the grave, not here.